This is the Dull Man's Podcast, the podcast for dull men
and women
who get excited about dull things. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Dull Man's Podcast. My name is Faye Hatcher. I'm a celebrant, a journalist, a pet portrait artist. And with me today, wow, it's star-studded today. We have a very special guest who I will introduce in just a second. Deech,
yes.
How are you doing? Who are you?
I'm Demetrius Deech. I'm a stand-up comedian. I don't paint dogs. I'm not a celebrant.
Why not? Why don't you do all the things that I do?
Because I'll take work away. I could do that.
Take work away from me.
If you ever want to outsource like a dog portrait, you say, look, I'm a bit busy this week, but I've got a mate called Deech. And then I'll just get it done on AI.
Just do like a stick dog. There you go.
Woof, woof dog.
And we have Dave Harris with us as well. Dave, what do you do?
Hello, Faye. Well, I'm a producer and
mighty
recordist
fine producer.
And
making
editor,
this sound great.
That sort of thing. Yeah, and funnily enough, when Deech was saying he would paint dogs, I had an image of him with a paintbrush and a pot of paint
on a dog,
and this poor dog being smothered in whitewash.
Snoopy,
yeah, exactly, yeah. But because I think you could probably manage that standard of painting.
Yeah, well, sort of. Painting is something that I do usually on walls and
painting and decorating. Exactly.
I do, yeah.
Exactly.
That is often how I earn a crust. But we've had a bit of fun this week, haven't we, Dave?
We have had a bit of fun.
Yeah,
because we had the media came in to talk to us.
The
media, yeah, in the form of regional television.
Oh, you have made it.
Oh, I tell you, fame and fortune are knocking on the door. They're beckoning, aren't they?
Yeah, the Dull Man's Podcast is now going to be.
Yep. So it's going to be by the time this episode goes out, this episode of the podcast goes out, I think we will have been featured on Points West, which is the
and Wales
and possibly Wales.
BBC Wales.
Yeah, they're going to offer it to Wales as well. And so they came because listeners may remember that we had an episode 16, I think it was the Can You Smell Gas? And we interviewed the lovely Pete about his invention of a smell of gas. And Points West thought that was a great story. Yeah. And so they came to interview Pete and Deech.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
and Dave was my bodyguard.
Yeah.
Making sure I didn't slip up.
He was your fluffer.
Or cock up or swear.
Faye,
really difficult for you.
Slip that in.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that. And Deech edited down to 5 seconds, probably.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very good.
I think Deech may just be the B-roll, actually. But
full disclosure, we're back at my house again.
Yeah.
It was so successful last time, the sound and everything.
Yeah.
I'm saying this just in case the doorbell goes and the dog starts barking. Hello to our resident dog, Flea, as well.
Yeah.
Very well behaved dog.
Is she on like drugs or something? Because she's just
heavy tranquilizers. So she's asleep.
Or maybe she's just a Dull Man's Podcast listener.
Yes.
Exactly. And our very special guest today, I'm so excited about this, is Paul Beard from Gloucester. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm good, thank you. Enjoying the good weather.
Paul is, we've been friends for a million years, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got to know one another on Radio Gloucestershire.
Yeah. And you're here today as our very special guest because something amazing has happened to you. It's so dull, it is off the scale. Deech and Dave don't know what it is. So we're going to have a game of guess what's happened to Paul in a bit. In addition to that, Dave, what are you talking about today?
I am going to be talking about airports today. So dull. We all use them. We all take them for granted. But they're actually fantastically, interestingly dull. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the statistics behind airports.
Take your word for it, mate. And Deech, what are you talking about?
I've got the guaranteed plan on how to get any car through an MOT.
I can't wait to hear that. It's going to save us loads of money. I can just feel it. It's all good to come on this edition of the Dull Man's Podcast. And don't forget, later on in this episode, we'll all be voting for our favourite fact. Before we proceed, let's hear some feedback from our listeners.
Oh, can I do the jingle? It's feedback time. It's feedback time. Feedback time.
Really, we need to commission somebody cool to make a jingle for us.
What do you mean? What's wrong with my jingle?
It's just really naff, mate.
Yeah.
Really naff. So, who's been in contact?
Well, we've had a message from Sean in Anglesey, which I'm now going to play you, and it's all about one of Deech's features that we did in the last episode.
Deech,
good on one,
the
Sean.
favourite.
Yeah.
So here it is, Sean from Anglesey.
Hello, Dolsters.
Hi, Sean.
I really enjoyed the last episode of the Dollman's podcast.
Good.
Some very interestingly dull facts.
Oh.
A little note on Deech's section about Mary Seacole, which was absolutely fascinating.
I'm nervous now.
Deech mentioned the canteen that she set up at Aldershot, and that Aldershot remains to be the main army centre in the UK. Interestingly, whilst this was the case during the time she set up her canteen, Andover is actually now considered the army headquarters. And, to add an additional dull fact, Catterick Garrison in the north of Yorkshire is actually the largest army garrison in both the UK and Europe, standing at over 2,400 acres. Well, enjoy that little fact.
Cheers, Sean.
So that's interesting, isn't it? So Andover is bigger than...
Yeah. Hand over your money.
Exactly. But Catterick is the biggest of all in Yorkshire.
Yeah, that's the army training ground, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It is. So Andover is the headquarters. So that is like, the top brass sit and meet when they're not in Whitehall. But Catterick, which is in the middle of nowhere in Yorkshire, well, it is the middle of nowhere in Yorkshire, is where their sort of new recruits go to train, to do their basic training.
You seem to know a lot about this, Deech.
Yeah. Well,
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, rather too much.
It's
Do you think?
unhealthy
I'm wondering.
knowledge.
When I was
you
in
don't
the-
come from Moscow.
When I was in the
Imagine
SAS,
him as a spy.
like, when I was in the SAS, I had to do a lot of training. No, I wasn't in the SS. I was in the Scouts. Yeah. So when I was in Delta Force and I had to sort of rescue those hostages.
Sausages.
Yeah, I eat those sausages. I just know stuff. I know stuff. It's part of being dull is knowing stuff.
I suppose if you say so, Deech.
Yeah.
The stuff he knows isn't always true, but he does know it.
Yeah.
Exactly. He makes it up, in other words.
Well, I like that. That little fact.
Anyway, thank you to Sean for taking the trouble to phone in from Anglesey.
Okay, is everybody ready to get going?
Yes.
I think we are. And I think you're going to go first, aren't you, Faye?
So, I don't want to give too much away because I want these two to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Try and guess what has happened to you.
I don't think they'll guess what.
Oh.
I don't think so.
How long do you think we can string this out for?
No, about 5 hours.
All right then. So,
Are we getting a clue, or are we just going to launch into questions?
Yeah, because I was going to say astronaut, but it's just because it's the
no way.
No, not an astronaut.
No.
Okay.
So
It happened without me knowing.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. So something has happened to you and you didn't know. So can I ask when this happened?
I think it was sometime last year.
So sometime last year, something happened to you, but you seem vague. You seem
But,
unsure.
I've only just found out in the last 6 weeks.
Right. Okay. Has this event made your life better or worse?
Better.
All right.
I'm a celebrity.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's why he's on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because we only ever have famous people on this podcast.
Are you royalty?
No.
Oh, okay. Dave, do you want to ask a question?
Paul, is this something that... Did it come out of a clear blue sky? Were you completely shocked by this?
I was. It was 1,000,000 to 1 chance that I found this out.
Ooh,
Right.
1,000,000 to 1. That's nothing to do with the lottery, is it?
No.
Okay.
I knew they'd ask that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
I was thinking,
knew
oh, great,
somebody
Paul's
would think
really
that.
rich. He can sponsor the podcast.
And I must say, I didn't win it last night either.
Oh.
Dear, oh dear.
So 1,000,000 to 1 odds of this happening.
1,000,000 to 1 odds. You had a baby. No, that's unlikely, isn't it?
Not at his age. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Hey.
thing to say. Yeah,
A man can have a baby at any age.
exactly.
Right. So,
Was it a long-lost relative you discovered?
No, it wasn't.
No.
okay. Is it sort of relative DNA related at all?
No.
No. Okay.
This is so good.
The thing which you discovered, has it changed your life on a day-to-day basis, or has it changed your life?
Not really, no.
No, right, okay.
Is it a physical thing? Has something come into your life? An object or a person or something like that?
Possibility, yes.
Right.
Oh, well, that's
Paul, can you, without giving it away, can you recreate your surprise or your reaction to when you found out this thing that had happened to you? A sinister laugh. Oh, right. Okay.
It's a really good question.
So it obviously wasn't at one of your gigs.
No, what he found out is that my gigs are comedy, not just spoken word and poetry. Right, okay. So you found something out.
And you laughed.
And you
about
laughed.
it.
Okay.
So I'm
Right.
guessing it was funny.
Do you need another clue?
I think we do.
Yeah, if you could-
Yeah. We're doing
If
very
you could
badly.
throw out a bit of a clue.
Yeah, I've got worldwide recognition from it.
You've got worldwide recognition.
Oh, so are you in some sort of club that's on the internet or something like that?
No.
Yeah, you're not. You don't do OnlyFans, do you?
No, definitely not.
Oh, Paul.
Paul thought it was Friends Reunited.
I'll have a drink after that question.
Yeah. Why am I getting so much money? One of my old school friends want me to take my shirt off.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got worldwide recognition
From
it, and what sort of thing has come out of it? Are people getting in contact with you? Are you getting phone calls, emails? Are you like, if you went to Albania, would you be recognised or something like that? Did you?
Not at all.
Not at all.
And the worldwide recognition, did that come about because a film crew came and interviewed you or something like that? How
No,
did
no.
you get the recognition?
I was looking at something at the time.
I was looking at something at the time.
Doing so well.
It's got to be to do with the internet, hasn't it? Surely, is there a connection
Yeah.
with the internet?
Yeah.
Because I can't think of any other way you could get world famous without a TV
Yeah,
show.
you're onto something there, Dave.
Okay, so it's some sort of website that you were looking at, or you made a comment on a forum or something like that.
Something that we were looking at.
You were looking.
Who's we?
My son-in-law.
Were you on video online? Would people have seen your handsome face?
Yes, but it was blurred.
Oh, you underwater? Through a pane of glass?
No.
Right.
Why would it be blurred?
Why would it be blurred? Well, that's why I asked. Is it underwater or through a pane of glass? What else?
Oh, would it be blurred because it was on Zoom, a privacy issue?
I think I've got it. Is it to do with Google Maps?
Oh.
You were on Street View, or whatever it's called. Were you naked? And if you are, you've got to get naked now. So are you still on there?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Oh, right. So was this outside? Was this outside your house or something? Or
It was about 10 minutes away.
oh, right. So you
From here?
house.
Oh, okay.
So you just happened to be there when the Google van went past,
Yes.
doing its photographs. And did you know at the time that you'd been photographed by the van,
No.
or did somebody point this out to you later?
No. The reason how we found out that the son-in-law was looking at where the 5G telephone masts were.
Right.
And
Very dull.
That is-
Yeah,
that is dumb.
classic
itself.
very dull.
5G.
And he happened to pinpoint the one where I live.
Right.
There was I stood on the side of the road.
Because presumably they already had Street View of that area, so they must redo them.
Yeah.
I think they
Fairly
update
regularly.
it every few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found quite a lot of information. Actually, not as much as I thought on the internet about.
Okay.
So this is on Reddit. This is from a guy called They Did the Math. So it's obviously an American guy.
Because there's no S
Or
in maths.
girl. What are the odds of being captured by Google Street View at the same place 9 years apart? So this, I mean, you could build up to this, Paul, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Just hang around.
And
hang
they've
out.
done the maths, and it's something like 1 in a billion.
Wowzers.
1 in a billion. Naomi Jennifer has written an article the strange beauty of finding yourself in Google Street View.
The strange beauty.
Since its launch in 2007, Google Street View has had to address major privacy concerns, i.e. your face
Yeah.
pixelated. It was launched in the UK. Roger Browning spotted himself in front of his own building and wrote in The Guardian, "It feels as I've won a lottery prize." Did it feel like that for you?
Or did you feel violated?
You didn't feel like that at all, but you did laugh.
I did laugh. Yeah,
thought it was funny?
I found it quite amusing actually.
When your son-in-law found this picture, he immediately knew it was you, despite the pixelation.
We both burst out laughing.
Yeah. Oh,
And did you go looking for it specifically? Or did you...
No, just by chance we come across it.
Oh, that's even better then.
Yeah, because where I'm stood.
Yeah.
Well,
It's 10 minutes from your house, you said?
Yeah, 10 minutes from the house. The mask is looking that way. It's just
Because you were stood there looking at the 5G maths. That's
Well,
what you were doing?
No,
Well,
they
no.
were looking online.
Looking online.
For
Oh,
5G.
right, I see,
Yeah,
yes.
looking online. Yeah, I'm not that sad.
No. Oh, I was
No, that's your son-in-law.
I was going to give you an award. Dullest thing to do. Just went viewing
Yeah, I
5G maths.
that's in fact, I was looking towards the mask actually, but I was looking to see whether the traffic was coming down the road. Because
Yeah, you're observing the highway code.
Yeah, one-way
Yeah,
system.
you want to cross the road, look left, look right.
There you go, Paul. Well done. I think you had them strung along for
Yeah.
quite a long time,
Yeah.
but well done,
Yeah,
Deech.
round
That's
of applause.
incredible. Can't believe you got it. So he's got the cheesiest grin because you're still basking in the glory of guessing Paul's very special thing that happened to him. But you're going to talk about MOTs today.
Yeah, I took my car in to get MOT'd.
Oh, yeah. Which car is this? Is it your classic car?
No. So my
Reliant Robin.
No, I have
He looks like a Reliant Robin.
a
driver, doesn't he?
three-wheeler, usually cheaper on an MOT, but we'll come on to that later. No, my classic car, my 1971, doesn't need to be MOT'd.
No,
Why?
it's too old. That's right.
Too old.
What do you mean it's too old? It
You
has to
have-
be roadworthy.
You don't need to get it MOT'd. I choose to get it MOT'd, but it's my
I was going to
choice.
say, aren't you worried about your own safety?
And you don't-
No.
No.
No, I
Do you
live
still not have to pay road tax as well?
Correct.
Or a certain age?
no road tax.
That is
no MOT.
absolutely mad when the government, I think, are going to introduce road tax for electric vehicles. Yet you,
Yes.
your dirty fuel,
Yeah.
polluting the
dirty
world, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
absolutely fine.
What classic car is it?
It's a 1971 Lotus Elan.
Oh, don't get him started.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, suddenly the podcast has got very dark.
Yeah. Anyway, Deech.
So I've also got a 23-year-old Ford Focus, which was car of the year. Like not that actual car.
Not this year.
No, not this year.
So the MOT comes up. I've got a garage down the road that I roll it to, and I like cars, but I've got no idea about cars. And when a car is that old, and it's limping. Okay, it's like a Liz Truss government. It's just and I have no idea if it's going to sail through, or I'm going to have to spend like 1,500 quid, which is basically £1,499 more than it's worth. I pumped the tyres up the other day and I doubled its value. I take the car down. As I say, you have no idea what's going to come out. I was actually excited because it's like, if it comes out and it's passed, it's like a lottery win for me. I was like, brilliant, I've gained. They wouldn't let me hang around to watch it go through its paces. And I don't like that, because then they can come out and they could say anything to me. And they're like, oh yeah, the calipers on the headrest were pissing me off. So anyway, I thought I'd do some research whilst I'm waiting for it on MOTs. When do you think MOTs came out in cars?
1960.
Yeah, 65.
Faye, you've got it spot on. It was 1960.
Yes.
Well done.
It came out initially, for the first 6 months, it was voluntary to get your cars tested for cars over 10 years old. Because, and I'll read this out to you, I got it from a website. In the late 1950s, most people purchased second-hand cars, and many of which were manufactured before 1940, and vast numbers of which were not in tip-top condition, nor were they regularly serviced. As a result, there were numerous vehicles being used on the road which were potentially dangerous. In particular, they often had defective brakes, lights, and steering. Anyway, there were so many failures when they introduced them, first of all, they basically, within a year, they brought the gap down to 7 years. Now it's 3 years, isn't it? You have a car for 3 years. How much do you think an MOT cost the first
In
ever
1960?
1960.
£5.13.
It's not going to be pounds, is it? It's going to be shillings.
It was. It
Well,
was
they
in
did
shi-
have pounds.
Did
it
they?
was-
It's
it
not
was-
going to be
See,
that
me-
much.
Me and
30.
Faye.
£5, 10 shillings, and
I was before.
3D.
I was before. You see, shillings. That's just like Bitcoin to me. I have no idea, but it was in shillings. But I've used a calculator.
25 shillings.
It wasn't as much as that. What would 25 shillings be?
Well, a shilling became 5 pence in new money.
Yeah.
So 25 times 5 is 125.
I'm going to say 5 shillings.
£1.25.
Well, it was the equivalent of 70p,
Wow.
and an extra shilling if you want to get the certificate. So I suppose that would be 75p.
An extra shilling
Yeah.
if you want to.
And how now? There's a
magic
and
tree,
exactly. How much is an MOT now? And I say that is would you believe me if I said there was a maximum amount that a garage can charge an MOT?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how much?
Because they
how
often
much is-
discount it, don't they? To
Yeah.
try and get you in there to get your car serviced.
40.
No, it's more like 60 something, isn't it?
55.
It's actually, to be precise, £54.85. How many MOT stations do you think there are in the UK?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a great question.
That's a
It's
great
not just a
question.
good question.
783.
2,800.
783? It's going to be more than that.
2,800.
No, more than that.
23,500.
Wow.
And just last question, Deech.
Yes.
Does anybody know what MOT stands for, apart from Paul?
Ooh.
Yes.
Do you know, Faye?
I know.
Something.
Ministry of Transport.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because presumably in 1960 there was a Ministry of Transport.
The initial nickname for it was the 10-year test because you had to take the test after 10 years. So they called it and then it was called the Ministry of Transport Certificate of Roadworthiness, and now it's just called the MOT. You know the 3 triangles?
Yes.
Logo? That was right from the start as well.
Classic.
Yeah,
So,
it is. Yeah,
it
classic.
is.
That was
Yeah.
right from 1960.
Bit of classy branding there.
Yeah, it is,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sort of blue and
Stood
white.
the test of time, that has,
It has
hasn't
stood
it?
the
I'm surprised they haven't spent £5 million on rebranding it.
Yeah, would just be the triangles, but just sort of slightly tilted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got a question. Is
Yeah.
it okay to kiss your mechanic if your car has got through without any...
Are there tongues?
No tongues, just like you're so excited because
That
your car has
is
passed.
often how I get my car through is by
it?
giving.
Depending if he's oily.
Is he oily or not?
Yeah,
But
I lick his ear.
but you kiss him at the beginning, don't you, Deech?
Yeah, I do.
To make sure you get through.
I do.
So on we go. And Dave, what are you talking about this time?
I'm talking about airports today, Faye. I've always been quite fascinated by airports. I enjoy the airport experience. I know we had an episode a few months ago where Sarah, our other presenter, she actually was complaining about duty-free shops. Mm-hmm. And I have some sympathy with what she was saying, but notwithstanding the fact that duty-free shops are sometimes a bit of a pain, the airport experience I like. It's the excitement of an airport is an exciting place to me. All that sort of complexity and the airplanes, of course, but all the things that go around them, and when you're sitting there waiting to board, and you're looking through the window to the apron, and there's all these people going back and forward with the little luggage trucks and the little stairs on motorised stairs and all that sort of thing. And I think, there must be 1,000 different jobs there.
And the vehicles are kind of funny, aren't they?
They
It's
are.
like
They're
a
all-
car with a big ladder.
And they're all
stuff like that.
specially built, you don't see them anywhere but at airports and all that sort of thing.
Your holiday has begun, hasn't
Your
it?
holiday's
Really?
begun. Yeah, I love all
Some
that.
people think, it's when you get to the resort. It's not. It's,
Yeah.
it's there.
You get the buzz.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're at
So-
the airport.
I get the buzz.
Yeah.
I do miss the sound. You remember where the board which had all the information?
Oh, we got-
I miss that one.
Yeah, that's all gone.
Yeah,
now, isn't it,
yeah.
sadly?
It's just all
You can still
like
see those at
cars
railway stations. I think Waterloo still has that, and Victoria still has that. So if you want to go,
Where else is it acceptable to be drinking a pint of lager at sort of 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah,
as well?
that's
right. Yeah, or,
Airport.
It's always
Fine.
Yeah,
It's always Guinness. I always go for the Guinness. There's always a Guinness bar.
Yeah.
It's like having a
I've been
meal.
to airports all over the world, and there's always a Guinness bar.
Yeah.
There's a Guinness bar in Moscow,
Doesn't
and
really
places
taste
like that.
Guinness.
I joined the
does it?
university rugby team. We were going up to watch England versus Scotland at Murrayfield, and we're at Luton Airport 4 o'clock in the morning to get there. And they're rugby lads, so they're like wading into the Guinness. So I'm trying to keep up with them as the football lad. I'm there like licking the froth as if it's an ice cream. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, guys. We could wait 18 hours.
Anyway, listen, let me get back to airports. Airports are aerodromes, okay? But aerodromes are not necessarily airports. Now, think about that one. So anywhere that a plane lands or takes off is an aerodrome.
Mm-hmm.
But if it has buildings and can take passengers or goods and that sort of thing, it then becomes an airport.
The word aerodrome comes from the Greek aerodromo, meaning road.
Oh, is that right? Oh, well, there you go.
Deech, sometimes you really surprise me with your knowledge.
You just surprised me.
Sometimes.
I'm coming out the shower and your face is there.
So obviously the aerodrome and the airport usually have a landing area. Usually, I think they definitely have a landing area.
Just land it on the roof,
which,
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And obviously that they have somewhere to take off. They often have an apron where they can park the planes and all that. So there might be a helipad. Some airports have helipads. But let me get on to the really interesting thing about airports, because as of 2009, it was estimated that there were how many airports in the world?
23,500.
36,000.
Well, the
50,000.
answer. Oh well, yeah, you've gone slightly above 44,000. According to the CIA. Apparently, the CIA were interested in this figure. I wonder whether they would use their satellites to tell this. But anyway, these are airports that are recognisable from the air. In the US alone, there are over 15,000 airports. Which is incredible, isn't it? The earliest aircraft takeoff and landing sites were obviously just fields. They were sort of, the Wright brothers and all that. But the oldest the first airport that they reckon was built was in Beijing, in China, which was built in 1904 to accommodate aeroplanes and airships. And it was in operation until 2019. So it lasted a long time. But have you ever wondered how old Heathrow is? Because Heathrow is obviously our biggest airport, London's main airport.
It used to be called London Airport, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, or London Heathrow, or something like that. Yeah. So that was opened in 1929.
Okay.
So a relative latecomer. But here's a question for you.
Yeah.
So airport size is usually measured by passenger numbers, or that's one recognised way of measuring it. So what do you think? Now, obviously, Heathrow is the busiest airport. I think we'd all guess that. And
in the UK?
In the UK. There are 84 million passengers go through Heathrow in 2024, when I got these figures from the CAA. So give me the top 5 airports in the UK.
In terms of passenger numbers?
Yeah. So what do you
Stansted?
think? Who's second?
Stands at Birmingham.
No, it's Gatwick. Gatwick's 43 million.
Yeah,
and then who's third?
Manchester?
It is Manchester. Well done. 31 million.
Yeah, I'm going to nail this.
And then Stansted is fourth, and Luton is fifth, 17 million. And then we start. I mean, apart from Manchester, those are all kind of London airports, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then we go out to Edinburgh is number 6 at 16 million, Birmingham 13 million, and so on. But what's interesting is I thought Heathrow would be one of the busiest airports in the world. But I think
it was at one stage. Yeah.
Right, but I've got the figures for 2024 from the Airports Council International for the busiest
You've been
airports.
bothering everyone this week, haven't you, Dave?
So again, this is passenger
CIA
numbers.
to the Airports Council.
So can anybody tell me the busiest airport in the world?
LAX?
LAX is not even in the top 10.
Okay.
Wow. Vegas?
Do you know what? I'm gonna say Dubai.
It is not Dubai. Dubai is Dubai is number 2.
Dubai's number 2.
With 91 million passengers.
Is Seoul Incheon? Is that in the top 10?
Oh, I thought you said in America. So
no, this is
in the world.
In the world, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, this is in the world.
Beijing's probably a good shout.
Yeah, no, it's not Beijing. Beijing is a long way down.
Is there any
that list.
Is there any Asian ones?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I said Seoul Incheon, but I don't know if you.
Yeah, it's not. I'll give you a clue. It's an American one.
It's number 1.
It's number 1. Yeah.
So I'm going to say JFK.
No, JFK's not even in the top 10.
I have been there. And it wasn't as big as I thought. Is it one of the ones in New York, like LaGuardia?
No.
So DC.
No, it's in Georgia, the state of Georgia. Come on, think of a big city in
Atlanta.
Georgia. Atlanta. There we go. Atlanta. 108 million. Biggest airport in the world, followed by Dubai.
Atlanta's the biggest airport in the world by passenger numbers.
That
Because
really
it's a hub.
surprises
It's a hub.
108 million. But of course, you've got to remember that in America, people use airplanes like buses. So there's a lot more journeys.
Yeah.
Dubai is number 2. Dallas is number 3. Tokyo is number 4. Heathrow comes in at 5.
Yes, get in.
Just scrapes into the top 5.
So that wraps up another episode of the Dolmans podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Before we all go, let's just go around the table and find out about your favourite fact. Dave.
Well, I think I've got to vote for Paul appearing on Google Street View because I think that's amazing. So that's
good, isn't it?
I'm voting for that.
Deech?
I think the hands down slam dunk winner is the bloke who said that the word aerodrome comes from the Greek of
was you, wasn't it?
aerodromio. Yes, it was.
It was,
meaning
yeah.
air road.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
my subject, so I think I get some credit for it.
Yeah, definitely. You
Yeah,
get half
yeah,
a point for that. What
yeah.
about you, Paul?
Well, found the airports very interesting.
Hey, nice one, Paul. We're
And I
gonna be-
really enjoyed listening about MOTs actually because it's something I have done every year to
70p.
my car.
Well, that's a
yeah.
split decision then, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like kind of one vote. I suppose you could argue if Paul voted for airports and Deech kind of voted for airports.
Yes.
So I think you could argue that I've won.
You are the clear
because
winner.
of my fact. Absolutely.
Thank you, Deech.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Paul, thank you very much for
Yes.
being our
That's right.
very special guest
You're-
today and
you're very
making it
welcome.
all the way to my house to record this week's edition of the Dolmans podcast. Deech, it's been great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too.
And you, Dave.
Yeah, and don't forget, everybody, tell your friends, tell everybody you know to listen to the Dolmans podcast because we need you listeners for us to survive.
Subscribe.
Until next time, bye-bye.
Coming up in the next episode of the Dolmans podcast, released on Monday, the 30th of June, Faye talks about the pitfalls and dangers of watercolour painting. Deech is determined to tell us all about anniversaries, and I'm getting into dairy farming. Subscribe now to avoid FOMO.